Hey everybody, I first want to give a little shout out to everybody that I met at Southern SAWG. First to the Mississippi Sustainable Agriculture Network and their affiliates for supporting J&J Acres and giving us a scholarship that allowed for me to attend that conference. It was very much appreciated. We met a lot of great people, swapped a lot of good ideas in the hallways, and also the talks and classes were excellent as well. Enjoyed not just the classes, but getting to meet with the instructors afterward, and those that were also in the trade show, meeting with them at their booths. It was a wonderful experience, and we're already looking to how we can bring the whole family to next year's event. So thank you. Now that we're back home, it's a matter of moving forward. One great thing about a conference and getting together with groups of other sustainable agriculturists is to give you that boost of enthusiasm to get out there and get the work done. So a lot of you have been following along, and you know that we are trying to design our site with a permaculture mindset and plant perennials and all that kind of good stuff. But there's a lot of work to be done to prepare our site. So in the meantime, we're also planting a small annual garden. So let me tell you a little bit about how we're going to prepare the garden for this year. If you've been following us throughout 2013, then you probably remember this section of the garden. This is the area that was fenced in for our annual garden last year, and I'm standing right at the back side of that rickety fence that you might remember. If you've watched recently, then you might have seen the video where I took the tractor and pushed down some hilly areas over here so that we could expand the garden. Now this new area is almost twice the size of what we had before. But now I'm in a situation where I really have, even though they're right next to each other, two entirely different sets of soil. Over in this area, I've had a planting over the last year. I've added rabbit manure to the soil, and I've had a covering of wood chips. Now if you remember, when I originally set this area up for our plantings, I've had about 3 to 4 inches of soil, or I'm sorry, 3 to 4 inches of wood chips on top of it. Now I'm down to only about a half inch of wood chips. So a lot of that has decomposed and incorporated itself as a part of the soil. I probably won't add any more wood chips to this area. We'll just keep what we have, clean it up a little bit to use as a water retention and as a weed barrier throughout that garden. However, over here, this is fresh ground, and I'm going to have a battle with the native grasses that were here, and so we need to do a bit of work. So my idea is we're going to clean out the duck coop, and we're going to bring a lot of that duck manure out here and set it throughout this area along with rabbit manure, fence it in again, and then put our chickens in here so that the chickens can naturally peck through it and till it up a little bit, add their own manure to the mix, and then we'll come back in this area and add in the suppressive layer of wood chips, another 2, 3, 4 inch mat, if you will, of wood chips, so that we can have better suppression of the natural grasses that are going to try to pop back up. One thing that I took away from the conference that we just came back from, I've had soil tests done before. I've taken samples throughout the property and taken them down to the extension service and had them tested just when we bought the property to try to get some establishment. We had nothing but red clay. But what I did not know and what I learned at the conference is that I can have my manure tested. So we'll also take a sampling of that duck manure to the extension service, have it tested as manure, and see just what kind of nutrients are in there so that we have a better idea of what we're actually adding into the soil. And that'll help me better understand, once we start planting, anything else that I need to do, just how much more manure to add, and make some good decisions based on that. So that was a positive thing to learn at the conference. So let me show you what we're going to use. So depending on your persuasion, this might look disgusting, but to me, it's rich soil. If you remember a video we did a long time in the past about one time when we did a good thick clean out of this, there is a lot of good natural worm activity under here. So this is the enclosed area of our coop where the ducks have been spending all winter. The majority of this is duck manure along with some composted straw and other things like that. And this is what we're going to dig up and add to the top of the soil in the front yard for the chickens and poultry to incorporate into our soil. So we're going to dig this up and move it out to the front yard.